Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 19th of March. Legal fraternity in Pakistan protests killing of Osama doctor's lawyer. UN calls trial of former Maldivian president hasty and unfair, expresses concern. And cricket fans break into celebrations as India defeat Bangladesh to enter World Cup semi-finals. And now for all the details. Lawyers and civil society of Pakistan have strongly condemned the murder of Samiullah Afridi, the lawyer of Dr. Shakil Afridi, who helped the CIA track down Al-Qaeda chief Osama bin Laden. Samiullah was shot dead by gunmen late on Tuesday.
The legal fraternity at various regions of Pakistan boycotted court proceedings to mark its protest against the killing of Samiullah Afridi. The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Bar Council observed a strike on Wednesday. Many in Peshawar High Court also refrained from attending court proceedings. Similar demonstrations were also carried out at Mansehra.
यहाँ भी आज मुकम्मल हड़ताल है और हम वकला की इस यकजहती में उनके साथ हैं और हुकूमत से ये मुतालबा करते हैं कि इस टारगेट किलिंग की बाकायदा मुकदमा कायम किया जाकर जो जिम्मेदारान हैं उनको सज़ा दी जाए और वकला को उनकी प्रोफेशनल जिम्मेदारियां पूरी करने के लिए वो माहौल फराहम किया जाए जो जिसमें उन्हें एक तहफ़्फ़ुज़ का एहसास हो.
Samiullah, who was shot by unidentified men near his residence, succumbed to his injuries at a Peshawar hospital late on Tuesday. The slain lawyer was buried amid tight security in his native village near northwest Peshawar on Wednesday. Samiullah had been representing Dr. Shakil Afridi, a WHO physician who had helped the CIA track down bin Laden in Abbottabad using a fake polio vaccination campaign. Samiullah had fled the country in 2013 after receiving death threats. He had, however, withdrawn from the case last year, only to return back to Pakistan recently. Analysts claim Samiullah might have become a victim of either jihadist groups or the country's security agencies.
Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena has said his government's top priority was to fulfill the promise of constitutional reforms. He also stated that the dissolution of parliament could be decided after the enactment of amendments to the constitution.
President Maithripala Sirisena has confirmed that the process of constitutional reforms has already been initiated and the 19th Amendment will be presented in the Parliament next week. Speaking to newspaper editors and media heads on Wednesday, President Sirisena said he was keen to ensure an all-party government after the parliamentary elections next month. He also urged the contesting political parties to campaign with the intention of supporting the all-party government. The parliamentary polls will be held after proposed constitutional reforms are implemented. The key constitutional amendment was part of President Sirisena's election manifesto. Before assuming power in January, he had demanded the Prime Minister to lead the government rather than a president. The parliament is expected to be dissolved after April 23rd in accordance with the election manifesto of the new government.
There is no place for street violence, as promoted by the country's opposition alliance. Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said. She also urged the people to stand united against religious extremism of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party and Jamaat-e-Islami.
The Jamaat is killing innocent people of Bangladesh in a similar way as the Pakistan Army did in 1971, said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Speaking in capital Dhaka on Wednesday, she also reiterated that there was no place in Bangladesh for the kind of militancy unleashed by BNP and its allies. She urged her supporters to build public consensus to rise against the anarchy and violence in the name of politics. Her remarks come even as the violence and attacks by the BNP continue. 2 people were burnt alive on Wednesday when a passenger bus was set on fire by blockade supporters in Maulvi Bazar, some 124 miles east of the Bangladeshi capital Dhaka. So far, more than 200 people have been killed, with most of them being burnt alive ever since January, when the BNP Supremo Zia called for an indefinite blockade in Bangladesh.
After battling dissent ever since it reclaimed power in the national capital last month, India's Common Man's Party has now decided to go national, a move that is being viewed as a sign of reconciliation within the party fold. Here is a report.
After defeating the 2 major political parties, Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress in February's Delhi elections, the Aam Aadmi Party wants to spread its wings and contest elections in other states outside the capital. The expansion plan had previously caused a rift between the party's cadres. One faction led by party chief Arvind Kejriwal wanted to focus only on Delhi, while the other wanted to go national. The latest decision means both are now on the same page. Analysts say the decision will help to diffuse internal dissent, while also restoring members' faith in the party's vision.
There's no reason why Aam Aadmi Party should not expand in other states of India. They are trying to sort out because they've seen the damage that their open washing of their dirty linen in open, the kind of damage it's done their image, and it does nothing for any of them.
Observers say AAP's next big move could be in the northern province of Punjab, where it emerged as the second largest party in the 2014 general elections. The party is also expected to contest municipal polls in Mumbai and Bengaluru, two cities where AAP has a large network of volunteers. But detractors argue the party should first prove its worth in Delhi before setting its sights elsewhere in the country.
They could not implement their promise in Delhi. With this track record, if they are going to expand nationally also, they are not going to get any advantage. People are not going to give them any support.
The move to go national is one of the most significant decisions taken by the Kejriwal-led AAP after winning the February elections. Analysts suggest he would first have to deliver on promises here before moving outside Delhi. Avneet Arora for South Asia Newsline in New Delhi.
At least 16,400 families across Pakistan have refused to get their children polio drops during the first 2 days of the latest round of vaccinations. The third three-day national polio campaign of 2015, which started on Monday, is targeting 35.5 million children. It is, however, seeing resistance from parents, fearing attacks from extremists who regularly target polio teams. Militant groups have long imposed a ban on polio vaccination, calling it a Western plot to sterilize Muslims. With 306 cases of polio in 2014 alone, Pakistan was responsible for nearly 80% of victims reported globally. The World Health Organization had imposed strict travel restrictions on the country last year to prevent the spread of the crippling virus to other countries. The United Nations has expressed deep concern over the arrest and jailing of former Maldivian President Mohamed Nasheed. UNHRC has also urged the country to ensure a fair trial for the opposition leader.
The UN, in a statement issued on Wednesday, said it was concerned about the manner in which Mohamed Nasheed was jailed. United Nations Human Rights Commission Chief Zaid Rad Al Hussein said the trial of Nasheed was flawed and unfair. Nasheed was sentenced to 13 years imprisonment under terrorism charges last week after the court proceedings lasted just 19 days. He was also reportedly denied the option of filing an appeal in the case. Nasheed, the first democratically elected president of Maldives, was arrested last month for allegedly ordering the arrest of a senior judge in 2008. His Maldivian Democratic Party had accused of political conspiracy behind the leader's detention and sentence. The Indian Ocean Archipelago is currently ruled by Abdullah Yameen, the half-brother of former dictator Mamoon Abdul Gayoom, whom Nasheed replaced in 2008.
The first globe-trotting solar aircraft completed its Indian leg on Thursday. After an elongated stopover of over a week in the country, the zero-fuel solar-powered plane reached Myanmar. Take a look.
Solar Impulse 2, which is on its maiden round-the-world journey, touched down its next stop in Myanmar on Thursday. The Swiss-built solar-powered airplane took off from India's northern Varanasi early on Thursday. The no-fuel flight had landed in the holy city a day before for a brief halt. Pilots Bertrand Piccard and Andre Borschberg, who are taking turns at the controls of Solar Impulse 2, said arriving in Varanasi was a spiritual experience.
And flying 5 days, 5 nights in this airplane like we will do over the ocean is also going to be a spiritual journey. And to be here, to stop here, to be in Varanasi, for me is extremely important.
The Solar Impulse 2 made its first pit stop in India after departing from the UAE and landed at Western Ahmedabad on March 10th as part of the second leg of its tour. The flight is attempting to be the first to go around the world using only solar power in the demonstration of technology to reduce the use of fossil fuels.
The message of Solar Impulse is to demonstrate that we can achieve incredible things with renewable energies and clean technologies, like flying around the world in a solar airplane, flying day and night with no fuel. And our message is that people on the ground can also use clean technologies to be more energy efficient.
Excited visitors who got a chance to see the plane while it was on display said they were happy that India became a part of the historic flight's journey.
We are part of a very historical moment. शायद आज से 50-100 साल बाद ये एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्ट्री का पार्ट होगा, जैसे राइट ब्रदर्स का प्लेन था, and it's the next big thing in aviation. तो मैं बहुत excited हूँ इसके लिए.
The plane is set to travel 21,750 miles around the world in 25 days over the course of roughly 5 months. The aircraft is the first to fly across oceans and continents, and the project took nearly 12 years to develop. After a halt in Myanmar, the aircraft will later fly to China, the US and Europe. It is scheduled to return back in Abu Dhabi in mid-July.
India broke into celebrations on Thursday as its cricket team qualified for the semi-finals in the ongoing ICC World Cup. Jubilant crowds across the country took to the streets amid songs and dances as soon as India's cricketing squad defeated Bangladesh in the quarter-final match. Many also busted crackers and distributed sweets to mark the team's big win. Finishing its innings at 302 runs, India overtook Bangladesh by 109 runs in Australia's Melbourne to make it one step closer to the finals of the World Cup. The team will now play either Australia, Pakistan in semi-finals in Sydney next week. The defending champions have so far remained unbeatable in the tournament. It has witnessed several of Bollywood's cult romances blossoming on the silver screen. As the canvas of Indian cinema grows with each film, its favourite shooting destination now plans to expand its tourism industry for the Bollywood fans too. Take a look.
Britain has remained the filmmakers' delight in Bollywood for years now. The Western nation, which boasts of being the backdrop of major Indian romantic films, is now providing a perfect setting for couples to celebrate love whilst on a holiday. Visit Britain. The country's national tourism agency has roped in superstar Saif Ali Khan as the brand ambassador for its Bollywood Britain tourism campaign in India. Khan, who launched the India-centric campaign, was all praised for the attempt that focused on locations featured in Hindi films to attract Indian visitors to Britain.
I think it's a nice fit because I love India and I also love England, and I think we've shot, like I've said in the film, I think everything in the film. We've shot some of our best films in London. We've had some of our nicest holidays in England. It's an amazing country. It is a varied country. You can have different kinds of holidays. You can have lots of fun. You can have a quiet cultural time. You can have a exciting nightlife kind of time, or you can have a very romantic and quiet time. I mean, you can do anything.
The UK has for long fascinated Bollywood filmmakers who have lavishly shot in the country, attracting tourism. With over 50 Hindi movies filmed in Britain, mostly themed around romance, the campaign targets young and honeymooning couples. From Bollywood classics Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge to the new age My Name is Khan and Jab Tak Hai Jaan, all of them hold the picturesque locales in the backdrop. Khan's own productions, including Love Aajkal and Cocktail, were extensively shot in the country.
Hi, I'm Saif Ali Khan, an Indian.
Britain welcomed over 375,000 visitors from India in 2013, a 10% increase from the previous year, making India the biggest source market for tourists from the BRIC markets. The Visit Britain has partnered with a German travel firm to design holiday packages and promote destinations featured in Bollywood.
Britain is a remarkable.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories, once again. Legal fraternity in Pakistan protests killing of Osama doctor's lawyer. UN calls trial of former Maldivian president hasty and unfair, expresses concern. And cricket fans break into celebrations as India defeats Bangladesh to enter World Cup semi-finals. Now viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.